And we're back. I went ahead and moved, well, didn't move, copied, planted another jungle tree up here. The one where people park cars is still down there. I don't want to play with it. Partly I like the way it looks, partly it's, unless I build out more ground, it's a little close to the edge to catch saplings, and saplings on these things are just not exactly common. So I've got, well, 35 up here. And let's see if I can get 40. Oops. Because 10 jungle saplings will get me a dark oak sapling. And 4 dark oak saplings will get me a dark oak tree, obviously. What am I not seeing? Okay. So I haven't even bothered trading any of these saplings in for any oak sapling, dark oak, you know. We need a better term. Let's call it an apple tree, since oak trees don't produce apples. I don't know why. Yeah, that's no good. I don't know, mahogany tree, something like that. I would be tempted to call it cherry wood, given what the stuff actually looks like. It's probably not cherry wood at this point, pretty much because it's the last way this game isn't just a three-dimensional version of Animal Crossing. Including the part where I can pretty much pretend to shut it down, Alt-Tab over, and let the whole thing go on without me. Although if the cat steps on the power strip, at least I don't get that burrowing moron. Oh, is he a gopher or something? Alright, what have I got? One trick with a jungle tree, especially a big one like this, is that so few leaves decay into saplings, and there's so many leaves, it's possible to have leaves decay into saplings that just sort of sit up here and eventually evaporate before the leaves beneath them manage to decay. Ooh, I think we did it. 9. I woke up about 10 minutes ago, if you're wondering. I'm calling this good enough. I've still got some saplings down next to that one, so I should be okay to cash in. Is it nighttime? Yeah. 40 of these. That leaves me enough to keep going if I want to. What? That's weird. I don't really like jungle wood. I don't like how it looks. Which, doesn't matter that much because, well, there's not a lot of saplings coming out of a... What the hell? Jungle tree. it does, give me those. Thanks. It does allow, it does produce a hell of a lot of wood. And wood obviously has uses beyond looking like wood. So, what I've been doing with this stuff for the last couple hours, well, for the last couple hours I was asleep, but then before that I was growing trees, chopping them down, accumulating saplings at a rate of about, 5 per hour. And, throwing the rest into, the furnace to create, more charcoal, which I'll deal with in a minute. For now, I just want to see if I can get at least 4 of these back right now. Because I don't want to go through all that very much anymore. Maybe. At this point I'm so used to jungle leaves, I'm a little concerned that this will be in wood. It's a stupid ratio where, like, every other leaf is something, I don't even know. Is it 1 in 20, 1 in 10? Yeah, I think it's 1 in 20, that sounds right. Jungle leaves are like 1 in 40. So, on average, you need like 160 decaying leaves that you get to in time with a big jungle tree like that, just to get back in. Don't give me apples, that means you're not giving me saplings. Just to get back enough to regrow the tree. I got 1. It could be worse, because at least here, if I don't get enough back, I know how to get more eventually. That was 2. I think I see something spinning. It's an apple. I don't need apples, I need shrubberies. Well, let's see what's on the ground, I guess. Oh, good. Well, then we might have a chance at this. And all the, yeah. I'm gonna be 3 short, but that's okay. Don't really need apples ever for anything at this point. Alright, so that gives me technically all 6 trees. I'm not sure how sustainable a couple of them really are, but... damn, give me this. Seriously, I don't even want these for the purpose of taking them down and putting them somewhere. I don't usually like just throwing things away, especially in SkyBlock, but I just have a stupid number of apples and pretty much no use for them. Trying to think what I want to take downstairs. I've got some ocelots for the moment. Take down some charcoal and kind of gamble it up into way more charcoal. Nuts. Oh, I'm so out of room, aren't I? Well, that is the point. What do I have for... Oh, I can do it. Meanwhile, apart from, you know, growing that damn tree over and over, I more or less just filled out... Cat, get away from the power strip. More or less just filled out the platform, obviously enough. So... it's been some downtime. I'm up to day 14 and 1429. But, most of the progress off camera has been just trying to get the saplings together to get the final tree that I haven't had all this time. Which, I do in fact have, something of a use for. Or not for, F. Oh, else I may have just... yeah. Nuts. Is this safe? I don't want anything falling off the side. Oh yeah, that's fine. Go here, actually. Just in case I'm not watching closely as I come back down, I don't want to drill through level 1 if it's made of rock. If it's made of wood, I should catch it before the pickaxe has a chance. Nuts. If it's not obvious, I threw the axe into my left hand because it's down to 1389, and I'll get a lot of, well, I'll get a fair amount of like experiential orb things out of this stuff, which on the one hand will grow back the pickaxe I used to mine it, and on the other will overspill onto the axe, and everything should be back to everything should be full by the time I'm done with all this. Oh, this is just, I'm gonna run out of room. I have way more than, yeah, this isn't gonna work all that well. Yeah, I might have to do this a couple of times. That's alright. Because the advantage of doing something this mundane, this is actually way more mundane than the tree thing, because there you gotta keep an eye out for saplings and try not to hit leaves with a axe that has silk touch, and I'm trying to plot out what I want to do next. I'd really kind of like to go down and build a sort of a fence around the rail system. Although I've noticed if I ignore it long enough, it all works out. Because while the slime can stop the minecart, eventually a different slime will restart it, so it's kind of self-correcting. If it doesn't get knocked off the track entirely, because that's annoying. We're out of room. Yep, okay. Alright, let's see, speaking of room, this I'm gonna not get at all. I mean, I will, but I'm just gonna have to stop halfway down, and actually that's a good idea. Also a good idea is knowing when it happens. Probably got rid of that bone meal. Unfortunately, this seems to be about the fastest way to crunch up this many blocks of coal ore. Just because setting it down is about holding down a button while jumping, and getting it back is holding down a button while not jumping. And This is what, you know, we consider rapid. Oh, yeah, okay. Part of the problem is not every one of these gives me experience, so... Oops, I'm out of room. Well... Yeah. Come here. Out of daylight too. What? Oh, that's a really good... nuts. Oh, so we got that. So yeah, building a fence would be something to do. I might even just go do that now, because all things considered, this is going to take longer than I was thinking it would. But I'm here, so I gotta get this over with, because what am I going to do? Jump down? Yikes, it's close to the edge. I wonder what I lost. Go get some sleep before anything shows up where I don't have enough torches. I should have torches everywhere, but, well, the zombies can always attack the village. Turns out they can even spawn inside it. I saw that happen once, so I'm not okay with that. Yeah, that works. Oh. What I could probably do here is... No, that's not even going to work. Well... That's good. It's amazing how much space things actually take up. Actually, I just realized I haven't quite checked on the villagers lately. Probably ought to make sure they weren't all consumed by... Yeah, there's some left. And they're all right here. Oh, God. I can deal with... Is he green? He is green. I don't want a green one. I want good ones. What am I doing? Oh. You can go in there. A little cautious about just dropping off the big cubes, because those things, it's 9 of these, and each of these is 8 blocks of wood, and it basically needs 72 blocks of wood to justify using it, and if I throw it in there and it doesn't have that many to burn, it just annoys me. Let's see if we can get more leaves, otherwise this whole thing is going to annoy me. Okay. Put that away. me many leaves. It's one. Or saplings. Yeah. I want to do the whole fence thing. I don't know if I'm really going to have time right now. It might be better to focus on this for the next, like, 10 minutes. Not seeing all that many. Okay, I guess that's technically a net gain. Yeah, let's work with that. Oh, and now I don't have moans anymore. The problem with these trees is, well, they do give you a normal amount of saplings. It's not that simple. It's got to be. Once you have a whole bunch and can play the law of averages, it gets a little weird. Because occasionally you'll get one of these trees that has a lot of wood but not a lot of leaves, or you'll get apples. So it's possible to run out of these things, even though you're getting the same percentage of leaves that you would get from like a spruce tree. 6. Well, so far we're doing alright. Probably find some bones just to make this go on faster. Another nice thing with these is they're, yeah, why not? They've got a lot of wood, but they're not tall. Which is, yeah, good and bad. They got these branch things that go off. So the bad news is you can't just go up and down like a spruce tree. You gotta watch for little satellite clumps of stuff. But if you miss one, at least you can damn near get it back by jumping up from the ground and just getting everything that you're trying to get the leaves to decay. That's what makes jungle trees really the worst. Acacia trees are pretty bad, but at least they're usually not tall enough to cause a problem. Apple. With jungle trees, the thing's not only 30 meters high, but then has these things you got to watch for as you're cutting through it. A lot of people just climb up the, whatever creeping Charlie stuff, the ivy. I don't know what it is. It's got a name, I just can't think of it right now. Call it ivy, that's what it is. Okay, that sounded like a lot. Eight is kind of a lot. Get out of here. Yep. As funny as my habit of doing, 45 blocks of wood above 9 saplings is probably fairly ambitious in dealing with like a jungle tree. It's just habit. I even do it with little things like oak trees and birch and whatever. A lot of what I do is, at this point, just habit, even if it's something I developed a few versions ago when it actually made sense. But it doesn't exactly hurt anything, it works out. And there's also the argument that, given how much bone meal I have and how little dirt I kind of have, well, I've got a bit at this point, I could probably just do what I was doing before with, like, over there, there's the, that thing is a little 1 meter farm that I guess I could put dirt next to it and plant. Well, it'd be hard to reuse a melon plot, but given that I can do, basically get stuff on demand by thumping it with bone meal, I don't strictly need this much farmland to maintain anything. Here I'm kind of doing the same thing with the seeds on the bottom and everything else above it. How's this looking? Wow. It's a lot of cacti I have no use for. So this stuff would be kind of enough if I just want to mass produce some basic foods. But that is more of a hands-on thing, and I don't much hate it when I can see the carts moving again. When I can just lurk somewhere and have this stuff grow in. While I'm not doing anything. It's like accumulating interest. Or, stock dividends or whatever. Ugh, that's weird. Well, so that's about how much time I was going to put into this. That gives me all the trees I need. Now I've got the wood. Incidentally, dark oak wood is the wood I really like. For building real things. This I'm good with spruce, it looks okay. But if I want to build a house sometime, I want dark oak for it. It's just, I think it's just what I'm used to. It's the kind of stuff that we had when I was a kid. I've still got some of it. So, at some point, and probably not too much longer, I'll probably look into building a spot for an actual house. I can still leave, you know, sleeping bag beds here and there, I suppose. But, just for the, you know, sake of completion, I could probably actually just get down there. I could probably build an actual so, that came back fast. Well, I'm here, what the hell? Do one more. This one actually might be pretty big. Yeah, all of the furniture when I was a kid, Dad was obsessed with red things, basically. It's the easiest way to put it. So, a lot of cherry wood stuff, from dining room table to end tables in the parlor to the you know, hi-fi system, which was a little like an MP3 player, but the size of a car. That played records, phonograph records, and a radio built in that got AM and FM. Because Dad was old. Like, seriously, he was in the Second World War. If he were around today, he'd be 95. I lied, he'd be 96. Because there was one thing he regretted, the big grand piano also in the parlor was not cherry wood. I don't know if you can make a cherry wood piano. I suppose you could. Alright. Well, that's cool. I've got, well, yeah, I've got enough in reserve to just basically start over if this gets weird. I've got enough jungle saplings down there. I think I had 8. And then another 8, so 16. I still just kind of want to leave that tree alone. I never really want to touch it again. But, I've got enough if I want to start over with these things somewhere for some reason. I can't think of much reason. The only real benefit to them is they produce a lot of wood that I don't want for anything. Oh, I have 11. 12, 13, okay. Well, that's cool. So we're not going to run out of that. I guess, probably. Maybe. You know, I get a lot of wood from these too, but it's wood that I have use for. I like to use it for the platforms. This contrast looks okay to me. Which, again, colorblind, but that aside. I just really don't like how jungle wood looks, so it's only good purpose is to throw into a furnace and burn into charcoal and produce more charcoal to burn more wood, and it just never ever ends. So I think that's what I'm going to do today. Is kicked up our type of available trees, and damn. Then next time we can probably get some spruce wood fences together and figure out a way to get that rail system to just sort of work without my help. But I've got this much so far to think toward building a house, work out what other materials I want for that, work out what kind of house to build for that matter. But, yeah, that all works. Okay, I'm gonna go drink all the caffeine and actually wake up. And then I'll just see you next time. Bye.